Hi everyone, welcome back to StoweActive. I really hope that you've taken the time over the weekend or last week to go and have a look at some of the videos we put up on the Stowe YouTube channel. And hopefully they've been really beneficial to you and you've managed to do some sort of physical activity, but also you might have learned a few more tips and tricks about the kind of positions that we're looking for in certain exercises, how to mix up your training a little bit. There's 5 different videos already uploaded that are archived on the YouTube channel, so you can go back, you can watch them, you can try out the workouts, and you can do them at any time. There's also 3 yoga videos that have already gone up with Mel, taking you through sun salutation and a few of those movements. So please go onto the Stowe YouTube channel, look at those videos, watch them, do something active, and it will make you feel great, I promise. This week, we're going to focus again on a few more kind of fundamental movements, and we're going to try and get you as active as possible. Today, we're going to look at building the foundations in Olympic lifting. So this is something I do with a lot of our sports scholars and a lot of our senior performance teams. And it's really important to develop movement and also build up to what we call the Olympic lifts, which are the snatch and the clean and jerk. You don't need to worry too much about that. All you need to know is that these movements are incredibly beneficial. They're really great for your movement and your flexibility and your mobility. And they also mean that once you get older and we can start developing strength and power into sort of 5th form and upwards, then having a strong foundation of these exercises is going to be really beneficial. Okay, so what I need you to do is you can pause it now and go and find either a broomstick. So all you need is like a broomstick like this, okay? Whether it's a brush or a broom, I'm sure your mum and dad have one in the house. Or alternatively, you can grab an umbrella. This is my Chatham House umbrella. Big up the Chathamites. Or I've actually got a stick that's specifically made for the exercises we're going to go through now. So go off, find yourself something that's probably 5 or 6 foot long, whether it's a brush or an umbrella or a mop or something that's straight and that we can use for these exercises. Okay, so to start with, what we're going to do is we're going to go through some mobility exercises and kind of a general warm-up that we do before we're going to break into all of these exercises. So I want you to take your hands quite wide on the stick, and all we're going to do is take our hands over, and we're just going to mobilize through our shoulder joint. Okay, if your hands are too close, you'll find that you might get stuck here, and I don't want you to force that position. Okay, so if you're using a umbrella, I'd probably just leave that on the floor for the moment, and just work on rotating your arms over, like so, because we don't want to overwork that shoulder joint. So we're just taking our shoulders up and over to start with. Once you've got a feel for the position and the movement, you can start moving a little bit quicker. Okay, we're going to take our hands over our head, and then I'm going to lean to the side until the stick just touches my leg just down there. Okay, so I'm trying to stay nice and square, so I'm just bending to the side. Something that always resonated with me when I was a younger athlete was they used to say, imagine there's a pane of glass in front and behind you. So when you're moving sideways, you can't move forwards or backwards. Good, we're going to take our hands straight out in front of us. Bring our hands a little bit closer this time. And then we're going to rotate from side to side. So we're just mobilizing through the lower part of our back now. Okay, Lower back mobility is really important, especially when we're going into deep overhead squats. Great to be able to sink down, and the more flexible, the more mobile you are in that area, the less likely you are to kind of pick up little injuries, little niggles and things like that. So I'm going to put the stick onto my thighs, okay? And then with it stuck to my thighs, I'm going to slide it down all the way to my ankle, and then I'm going to reach it up and over my head. Slide it down all the way to my ankle, up and over my head. So the idea of these exercises is to try and increase intensity without necessarily increasing the amount of weight that you're lifting, okay? So some of these exercises will be extremely challenging, but they're not necessarily heavy, okay? We're just using literally like a piece of stick that I guess it probably weighs about 5 grams, okay? So we're looking to improve the movement that's required before we start increasing the weight. There's a lot of, everyone wants to lift loads of weight, and that's fine, and I get that, and that's brilliant for improving strength, but we must build those foundations first. Okay, so just bring a stick to one side. We're just going to mobilize through our hip now. So normally we do this moving, but obviously we're static. So I'm going to bring my leg up and out, and then out and through. So I'm just going to do 5 of these on each leg. So I'm just mobilizing through my hip joint. Some of you might feel like cracks, pops. It's just because loads of muscles working into our hip joint, and the tendons and the ligaments, they're all just moving over each other. And if we're a bit tight, then you'll feel those cracks, but it's nothing to worry about. Hopefully, as we do more mobility, that will go away. It's good for a little balance exercise as well. Make sure you're focusing on something stationary. Good. Just shake your legs out. And then we're just going to look at increasing the flexibility of our calf. So I'm going to take a big step forward, like so. I'm going to drive my heel into the floor. I'm going to bend my front leg, and I should feel a stretch through the back of my calf. Most people struggle with ankle mobility, and that tends to be an over-tightness through the gastrocnemius, or our calf complex, our calf muscle at the back here. So this muscle on the back of my leg, okay? And the more flexibility work we do on that, the more flexion I'm going to get at the ankle, and the more comfortable I'm going to feel when I'm down in that deep squat position. Good. So hopefully our shoulders are mobilized, hips are mobilized, and now our ankles are a little bit looser as well. Okay? So we're going to work into some complexes. So the bar is just going to go on the back of my shoulders, like so, like you would if it's a normal back squat. Feet shoulder width apart, and then I'm just going to sink down. So because there's not much weight, I'm just going to pop down quite quickly. This is opening up through my hips as well. And I'm just going to do 10 of these, just to get the blood flowing in my legs. And just channel that pattern so that I'm warming up. I'm going to lunge. So bar stays behind my head. I'm just going to we'll do 7 on each side. So just lunging forward. Really drive your hip forward. Should feel that stretch through your hip flexors. Nice and balanced onto your front foot. Chest up, chin up. Bend through both knees. And push back so it's nice and dynamic. Perfect. Right, so we're then going to take our arms over our head. Okay? So I'm working into an overhead squat now. So exactly the same as the pattern we talked about way back on Monday last week, except this time we're adding an upper body mobility part as well. So I want the stick to be directly over your head. So when I bend my elbows like this, the stick should be resting on the top or the middle of my head. If you've got hair, it can sit just into your hair like that. But for me, it's going to just sit on my skull. So arms up over my head, feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out to about 30 degrees. You're going to get really bored of me saying that. I am going to keep looking straight ahead of me. The last thing I want to do is look forward, because as I look forward, my eyes go down to the floor and my upper body sinks forward. I want to stay in a nice upright position. So, and then I'm going to sink down into this nice low squat position, keeping the bar straight up above my head. We're going to do 10 of these. These are nice and tough. So, sink down, maintain that control, that upper body position, and make sure the stick or the broom handle or the mop, umbrella, whatever you're using, stays above you. I'm noticing on the camera I sort of fit in with the paintwork on the walls, sort of that geometric pattern as well. So we're doing 10 reps like this. Then, keeping our arms up over our head, we're going to take a big lunge forward. We're going to go into our split squat. So split squat we worked on last Monday. Did a few other exercises throughout the week. Big step forward. Weight comes onto my front foot. I balance on my toes at the back. Your back leg is specifically there to help you balance. All of the weight, all of the control comes through my front leg, through these big glute muscles, quadricep muscles, and that's where all the power is being generated. So, arms up over our head. Balance through our back leg. Again, the stick is directly over the top of my head. I'm bringing my back knee down to the floor and come up. So we're going to go slowly down over about 2 seconds, and then boom, nice and powerful on the way up. Down and up. Down and up. Good, so I'm controlling the movement on the way down, and then I'm forcefully generating force upwards. Boom. 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 Good, we're going to do 3 more. 1, 2, 3. Perfect, and then we're going to change sides. So my right foot comes forward, spread my weight over that front leg, arms over our head. Stick is directly over the top of my head. I'm balanced on my back foot, all my weight's on my front foot. Drop down, boom, power up. 1, 2, 1. So we're looking for a nice, steady tempo, slower on the way down, quicker on the way up. Good. 3 more. Cool. So, my arms are going to come out in front of me now, and I'm going to remain in that split squat position. So we're going to do 10 on each side again. Okay, so our legs should start to feel like they've been working a little bit now. Okay, again, it's not about speed, it's about control. It's about being in control of that movement, and it's about doing every single movement perfectly. So that later on, when you're back in the gym and the weight starts increasing again, this becomes second nature. You can understand what position your body's supposed to be in. So I'm going to bring my arms out directly in front of me. And then I'm going to lunge down, and I'm going to rotate over my front leg. And I'm coming forward. Okay, again, slow and controlled on the way down, drive and move forward. So we're really working the rotational control of that front leg through that lower part of your back, and also bang in here, all this tension through the mid part of your abdominals. We're going to do one more. So you're doing 10 on that side and 10 on this side. Work to your own pace. Maintain control. Don't over-rotate as you come back. This is where balance, control, and mobility come in. Nice. Okay, so we've done our overhead squat, done our overhead split squat, and then we've done our split squat with rotate. Okay, next one we're going to look into, it's called an RDL, Romanian deadlift. Don't need to worry too much about the language or the names or anything. All you need to remember is the more common name is a stiff leg deadlift, okay? So I want you to straighten your legs, but I want you to have a tiny little bend in them. So a soft bend, we call it. So if you look at me from the side, my legs aren't locked out. They've got a slight bend in. Okay, so I've got control through my knee joint. I'm going to bring the stick onto my thighs. Okay? Soft bend in the legs. Drive your feet into the floor and create tension through your thighs. All I want you to do is slide the stick down your thighs until we get just below the knee. And then you're going to come up. Soft bend. Come down. Back stays nice and straight. Eyes stay looking forward. And I'm pushing my bum out behind me. This is a difficult movement to master. But once you do, you will have complete control. So slide the stick down your thighs. As it gets to your knee, just go over your knee. Push your hips back. And you should be able to feel this muscle work. As it lengthens, as you're pulling down, as you control through that movement, you should feel your hamstrings lengthen. So, thighs on. We're going to do 5 more now. Okay, just do 5 more. Straight down. Hips go back. Eyes forward. Okay, eyes forward, probably 6-8 foot in front of you. Hips go back. Keep the bar close to your thighs. Do not let it fall too far out. Really drive your hips back. Soft bend in the knee. And that's what we're looking for. Okay, if you've got a wall behind you, what you can do is come quite close to it and then just really work on pushing your hips back so that you touch the wall. Okay, that means that you know that you're forcing your hips back into that position. Keep your chest up, keep the engagement through your abdominals, and work that pattern over and over and over again. Okay, so we're going to go through those movements again. So, arms over our head, feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly turned out. Drop down and up. We're going to do 10 repetitions of each exercise. Okay, so now we're starting to work, all right? Keep your knees driving over your toes, and we're creating space down here for our body to drop into. Good. Keep your abs engaged. Keep your eyes up. Keep your chest up. Keep your chin up. Keep watching the camera. So we're doing 10 reps. Good. Step out. All your weight on your front foot. Balance on the back. Arms over your head. Stick is directly over the top of your skull. down and up. Good, we're doing 10, 9, last one, 10. Okay, and switch it out. Down. Good, all that weight through that front leg. Drive your hip forward. Feel that tension through that back hip flexor. Going to be properly really tight because we're sitting down a lot at the moment. You're not walking around campus all the time. So that tension that builds up in our hip flexors is going to be huge, okay? So really, don't overdo it, but feel that energy and work the mobility through that hip flexor. So, split squat, back into our left leg forward, arms out in front, drop, and rotate. Remember our tempo, 2 down, 1 up. Little breath in, breathe out at the top. Last one. Good, 10 on that side, and then 10 on this side. Big step out, balance on the back, arms out in front, rotate, and drive. Last one. 10. Good. Feet shoulder width. Toes not as turned out, but slightly in front. Stick goes on your thighs. Broomstick on your thighs. Drop down. Soft bend in the knee. Just go past the knee. Engage through those legs. Hips come forward. Keep your eyes up, or at least forward. Push your hips back. Keep that stick attached to your thighs. Soft bend in the knee, but it's not dead straight. It's not dead straight. There's a slight bend in there. That's going to help you control with your hamstrings rather than them being passive. One more. Good. You know what's coming? We're going straight back through those exercises again. Okay? Feet shoulder width, toes out, arms up over our head, sink. Good. Straight into our overhead squat. Should feel tired now, but we shouldn't be breaking ourselves. Good, that's 10. Left foot comes forward, right foot goes back. On our toes, arms up over our head, drop down and up. For any parents, any members of staff, any teachers out there that are doing this as well, you may never start doing Olympic weightlifting. You might not even ever get into a gym and do stuff like this really. But these are the things that are going to help maintain strength, maintain resilience in your joints, in your tendons and your ligaments. Working through these fundamental movement patterns will really, really help as we progress into later life. Our ability to control, especially through like knees and hips, it's just so important, okay? We do not need to be doing, 100 burpees a day. Do not need to be doing fast, intense. We just need to be working our muscles through a really good range of motion and adding resistance where possible, okay? And even if it is just the mop or a broomstick, this will give you an absolutely wonderful workout. and will benefit you for much, much more time to come. Into our RDLs. Oh no, we're rotating, aren't we? Sorry, I forgot about that one. Left foot forward, twist, knee down, arms forward. Good. We're working really well now. So make sure we maintain tension through that upper part of our body. Rotate, drive forward. If it's really tight through this hip flexor, then we'll run through a little hip flexor stretch at the end that you can build into your day-to-day kind of work. If it feels good, keep working it. Left, right foot comes forward. Back on our left, balance, arms in front, arms parallel to the floor. Rotate down and twist. Yeah, we're going to do 3 more. 3, 2, last one. 1. RDLs, last thing. Feet shoulder width. Lean forward, come through. Keep that stick attached to your thighs. You should start to feel, with all these repetitions, that we're starting to increase our mobility, or the stick is getting slightly further down your shins, hopefully. The more control you have over this movement, the better you're going to be able to utilize those big hamstring muscles on the back of your legs. Chest up, eyes engaged, core engaged. Come down, come through. Really is as simple as this, guys. Working through those fundamental movements over and over and over again. So you've probably done about 4 or 5 rounds of that. That is going to be absolutely brilliant for one, maintaining and generating control through our hips, our shoulders, our knees, our ankles, but also focusing that energy into the muscles that we want to use, okay? So these big, strong glute, quad, hamstring muscles, okay? Those are the ones that we want to benefit from. So just do a little bit of a cool down just to finish off. So you're going to grab your hands, stretch up over your head, look up to your hands, up onto your tiptoes. Good. And then we're going to lean forward, fold forward, and just touch your toes. Okay, really let your upper body hang, relax, and sink down into that stretch. We're going to go up over our head again, all the way up onto your tiptoes. Look up to your hands and stretch all the way through. Well, hopefully you'll be able to balance. Okay, we're going to lean over to the side and reach. And then we're going to reach over to the other side. Hands out in front, we're going to rotate. Lower part of our back should feel like it's done a little bit of work now. So just rotating gently from side to side. Okay, you're going to shake your legs out. That hip mobility one we did at the beginning, you're going to come up and over, over and up. Okay, so we're going in one way and out the other. Great for balance. Really work through that hip. Open and close the gate. Good. Same on the other side. Oh, lost my coordination there a minute. Good. Shake your legs out each side. We're going to do our calf stretch. Knee forward, heel back. Lean into that stretch. Good. Okay. Shake everything out. And that's it. We're done for today. Okay? If you want to go back and watch any of the other exercises, any of the other sessions, they're all on the StoweActive YouTube channel. Hit the subscribe button so that if you need to, it will come up whenever new sessions get dropped. Okay? And I'll see you tomorrow.